I'm going to recap the Elite Eight up to the national title match for Division One men's tennis for the NCAA tournament. I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And I'm going to say that we're going to have to wait and see what happens to all these teams here in terms of transfer portal, not just additions, but subtractions, and players turning pro. And it was nearly chalk when you look at it, but it was close to not being chalk. So, the 1 seed Wake Forest did defeat Columbia 4-1, but that was not an ordinary 4-1. When you look at the scores, every match was singles match was a 3-set match that completed. Now, there was a near upset. 4 seed Stanford did defeat 12 seed Mississippi State 4-3. So that could have been really an upset right there. 3 seed Texas did defeat UCLA 4-1. Now, 2 seed TCU survived against 7 seed Virginia 4-3. And let's be clear, TCU was bailed out in that match. They were down at number 6 singles by a break, but it came back to win. They were down on the other 2 courts when TCU was up 3-2 in the dual match. Just want to make that clear. Now, I'm going to go in more detail, and I'm going to try to make this quicker than on the women, just to be real. So, the 1 seed Wake Forest versus the 4 seed Stanford. Who won doubles? Wake Forest did, because at first doubles match to finish. Actually, Stanford won the number 1 doubles. Nico Gotzik and Hudson Rivera defeat DK Suresh and Giannis Xilias, Xilas, and I'm going to just call him X-Man because that's what I've heard. That was 6-3. But Stefan Dostanic and Charlie Robertson had number 2 doubles for Wake Forest to defeat Kyle King and Henry von Schulenberg 6-3, and Luca Powell and Luciano Tacci did defeat Sam Banerjee and Alex Razagi, Razeghi. Apologize if I butchered that. 6-4. So 1-0. Stanford was down. 1-0. Stanford was down. Wake Forest was up. Now the first singles match to come off the board was actually Luciano Tacci defeated Nico Gotzik 6-2, 6-4. And I will say this match was moved inside due to weather, though it was projected for the other match to be outside for the other semifinals. Now the next singles match came off the board was Wake Forest. Luca Powell defeated Alex from Stanford 6-1, 6-4. Then it became a little bit interesting. Henry Jean von Schulenberg defeated Charlie Robertson at number 4, 6-2, 6-3. And Max Basing defeated Xilas from Wake Forest 7-6, 7-2 in the tiebreaker, 6-0. So 3-2. And the other 2 matches were in 3 sets. DK Suresh did defeat Kyle King at number 2 singles 6-1, 5-7, 6-3. I will say Stefan Dostanic lost the first set 4-6, but won the second set 7-6, 7-3 in the tiebreaker, and he was up 5-4 in the third set. So that does explain that match. Now, TCU versus Texas. Obviously, both these teams are familiar with each other. Obviously, and they were they played each other twice this year, and they split both times. So the first doubles match that finished was Federico and Duncan Chan from TCU defeat P.Y. Bailey and Sebastian Eriksson 6-3. Then Pedro Vives and Lou Maxted from TCU did defeat Lucas Brown and Timo Lugu 6-3. Jack Pinton Jones and Cooper Wistendijk from TCU was up against Jonah Braswell and Sebastian Gorzny 5-4. Now, the first singles match that came off the board was Louis Maxton actually did defeat P.Y. Bailey 6-3, 6-0, which P.Y. Bailey was really good at that spot for this year for Texas. Now, the second singles match off the board was Sebastian Eriksson did defeat Cooper Wistendijk 6-4, 6-0. Then it came Federico did defeat Jonah Braswell 7-5, 6-2. Then Roger Pasquale beat Lucas Brown 6-4, 0-6, 6-3. The only match that was a DNF was on number 1, and that was Jack Pinton Jones versus Timo Lugu. Timo Lugu won the first set 6-4, but Jack Pinton Jones won the second set 6-3, and it was 4-3 in the third. Jack Pinton Jones was up. So what happened in the national title match? And I'm going to preface this by saying TCU was 0-4 at number 2 and 4 singles prior to this match. They were. You can't deny it. So, yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. Especially with that Pedro Vives only played his 4th singles match since March 11th against Texas, believe it or not. So it's been a bit of time for him to be playing consistently, and 3 matches in 3 days for a guy that just came back into the singles lineup, that's tough. Okay, so what happened in doubles? I will say Wake Forest started fast, if you kept track of the matches. They did. They were even up breaks in all courts at one point. Yeah, the first doubles match that finished was Luca Pau and Luciano Tachi from Wake Forest to defeat Federico and Duncan Chan 6-2. Now, number 2 doubles, Stefan Dostanic and Charlie Robertson did defeat Jack Pinton Jones and Cooper Wistendijk 6-3. Well, I will say DK Suresh and Xylis from Wake Forest was up 5-4 against Pedro Vives and Louis Maxted. The only shot that TCU really had in this match, to be honest, to win the national title was winning doubles, because I did not see him winning at 6. I did not see him winning at 2 and 4. I didn't. And number 1 is a toss-up, even if they do win doubles. That was a toss-up match. The first singles match that actually came off the board was Stefan Dostanic to defeat Jack Pinton Jones for the second time. Both these teams met in the National Indoor Tournament, by the way. And it was 6-3, 6-1. The second singles match was actually Federico did defeat Luciano Tachi 3-6, 6-1, 6-2. So 2-1. But then became 3-1 Wake Forest because Luca Pau did defeat Duncan Chan 6-3, 1-6, 6-2. So it had to be they had to win the other courts for TCU to win back-to-back national titles. Lou Max did defeat Xylis from Wake Forest 6-1, 7-6, 7-3 in a tiebreaker, who clinched the match, and it was 3-2 at this point. It was DK Suresh, who defeated Pedro Vives 6-2, 3-6, 6-3. I will say Charlie Robertson at number 4 singles against Cooper Wistendijk, he lost the first set 3-6, but won second set 6-3, and he was serving for the win at 5-3. So, yeah. And this is some good run from TCU and everything, but they were due for a loss. They should have really lost to Virginia. They could have lost to Texas. They got pushed by Oklahoma in the round of 32. Let's just be clear. And how many wins does Wake Forest have on the year? 40. And they only have like one loss. So, while TCU is 27-4 on the year. Really good year for them, but obviously it's not like winning a national title back-to-back years. So they were the bridesmaids to Wake Forest, so to speak. And now I'm going to go over like how many seniors does some of these teams have. And I know some of them may not have played that much due to guys ahead of them. I mean, look, for example, Wake Forest actually have Franco Cababo. He started at number 6 and he didn't play that much. So, and I know they definitely lose Xylis from Wake Forest, and they do lose Tachi and Stefan Dostanic. So that's 3 guys that consistently, but it's not including like one. I mean, in total, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that are seniors. And this is like pending transfer portal, I know, and players turning to pro. I get it. Wake Forest only has one player coming in. That's it. Now, Columbia, I know for some guys, if you technically didn't play due to injury, you have another year of eligibility. Technically. So how many seniors do they have? 3, and Hashimoto and Westfall are probably the bigger names. Not really Templeman. Definitely Hashimoto for sure, but you get the point. And Columbia, they had 3 in total, and they bring in 3 players for the 2025 class. Now I'm going to go for over Texas, and they only actually have 1 senior, and that's P.Y. Bailey, but who knows about Timo Legoo at 1. To me, he seems like the next one and done. He's that good. He could very well turn pro after this year. And I know Gorsny didn't have, quote unquote, his good year. I mean, solid year, but he could technically turn pro at number 2. And I know DK Suarez from Wake Forest could turn pro as well. And Texas does bring in only 1 guy. Now UCLA, they had a much better run in the NCAA. I mean, obviously from Big Ten tournament to now. From barely not hosting to making an Elite 8. That's pretty good. And the only reason why they didn't host, by the way, was due to head-to-head with the A&M. And we all know what happened to them. Yeah, they only have like 1 senior, and that's Ravelli for UCLA. And in terms of like players coming in, they don't have any guys right now. UCLA doesn't. Now Stanford, I know Henry von Schulenburg he was like a 1-year guy anyway, because he did have another year of eligibility. Yeah, Max Basing, yeah, that's a big loss. And they do lose Henry von Schulenburg, like I said, and they do. That's really just 2 guys right there, but it's not including Sam Banerjee that could very well turn pro. And I know they do have another senior in Harsh Hembang Parikh. No, that was like from Penn, but that's it. And now Stanford actually had the best year in a long time. I mean, it's been a long time for them since making the Final Four. Given that's kind of crazy, and they only have like one guy coming in. Now Mississippi State, how many guys they're definitely losing? And like I said, for all these teams, this is pending transfer portal, which opened up back in May 5th, and players turning pro. And I'll go over that one guy that I definitely know is going pro in a second. It's only because I saw on X that it's like a coach confirmed it. Yeah, actually, Mississippi State only loses like one player. That's a senior, so they do have some type of foundation going forward. They don't have really any freshmen coming in. Now, I will say this for TCU. They technically have 3 seniors, but one of them is like a walk-on type, but the other 2 guys are 2 and 3. And in the press conference for David Roditi, he did confirm that Jack Pigeon Jones, the court 1, who was a junior this year, is not coming back. Well, this does not surprise me. I actually heard in a grapevine that they could have lost him. And he was really thinking about it. And I know that TCU does have guys returning and everything, but they're not court 1 types. I'm sorry. And they do have like Lindsey Davenport's son coming in, and they do have somebody else. But are they Jack Pigeon Jones? I don't think so. So they're going to have to rebuild like the 2022, going from 2022 Baylor to 2023 when they lose the top half of the lineup. And maybe they're one of the supposedly I saw on X, maybe one of their 2026 guys could early enroll. I don't know. Now, the last team I'm really going to go over, the last team remaining is like Virginia. And I will say this, I don't know about their court 1 really coming back. I don't really know. Because he's that good. And that's Hodar. Raphael Hodar. They do have like, let me check how many seniors. James Hopper is a grad senior. Like, that's a consistent starter. And they do lose R.J. Friesen, but he didn't hardly play, I believe. So they do have some key pieces returning. But this is pending turning pro because, like I said, the court 1, Hodar, could turn pro. Maybe Dylan Dietrich turns pro, who's the number 2 singles player. Now, they do not have any guys technically coming in for the 2025 class, but they're probably going to get somebody. Probably. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens from here. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers, goals, ultimate goals, 1,000 more, some money to subscribe, like the video, comment video, really helps YouTube backgrounds, some more people see it, sharing the video does help as well, some more people could watch, and if you're watching and not subscribed, hit subscribe button, for the notification bell as well.